Hello friends, welcome to my channel ELS English Literature Studies with Kaur Harpreet. Today I will discuss another form of drama, that is the problem play. Before that, I have discussed the pre-Elizabethan drama, the tragedy, the melodrama, the tragicomedy, the comedy and its forms, the farce, the mass, the poetic play, the dramatic monologue. All these types are already discussed by me. Videos are available on my channel. If you're interested, you can check that playlist, right? And with that, I have also a playlist, what is poetry and what are the different forms of poetry. If you're interested, you can check those videos also. Today I will discuss the problem play. Now friends, only one type is left, that is one act play, that I will discuss in my upcoming video. So let's get started with today's topic, that is the problem play. When we talk about problem play, firstly, it is a type of drama or form of drama that developed in the 19th century, right? It is a recently developed dramatic type. As its name, it is a drama built around a specific problem, right? And its purpose, it is recently developed, and its purpose is to deal with the controversial social issues. Now, what are these social issues? For example, prostitution, unemployment, labor unrest, inadequate housing, and so on. These are the social issues which are discussed through these problem plays, right? And it deal in a realistic manner to expose these social issues or social ills, and to stimulate, it also stimulate thought and discussion on the part of the audience also, right? Sometimes it may rise above the immediate context of a problem to grapple with larger ideological or even metaphysical and universal issues also. Now, a problem play is essentially a drama of ideas. According to G.B. Shaw, George Bernard Shaw, it is a factory of thought, right? And according to Galsworthy, the problem plays here, according to him, is the perfect dramatist rounds up his characters and facts within the ring fence of a dominant idea, right? These are the views of Galsworthy. The problem playwrights regard drama as a vehicle for the dissemination of ideas. Now, these are few names. Thesis play, it is also known as, the problem plays are also known as thesis play, discussion play, and the comedy of ideas, right? These are the different names given to the problem play, and it originated in 19th century in France, but was effectively practiced and popularized by Ibsen. It was popularized by Ibsen, that is Norman playwright, and the problem play was introduced into England towards the end of the 19th century by Henry Jones, right? And also by Sir A.W. Pinaro, right? Then when we talk about Henry Johnson, let us talk about him in brief, that these playwrights were influenced by Ibsen. Henry Jones and Pinaro, these were influenced by Ibsen, but in dramatic talent they were not even a patch on him, right? John's problems plays are Saints and Sinners and Mrs. Dane's Defense. According to Evans, these two works are the work of a cobbler who has never mastered his tools, right? Next we have A.W. Pinaro. As I've already told that the problem play was introduced by Henry Arthur Jones and Pinaro. And when we talk about him, this is his, we can say, most popular play, problem play, the second Mrs. Tanqueray, which deals with the marriage of a woman with the past. He did something towards transporting to the English stage, but the substance was missing in his works, right? G.B. Shaw and Galsworthy, we will discuss about these two in upcoming part. These two took the problem play to its height in the 20th century, right? And then we have H. Grenville Barker, who is the last notable practitioner of this dramatic type, and these problem plays flourished in England in the period between the last years of the 19th century and middle of the 20th century, right? Now, these are some famous, or we can say notable examples of problem plays. What are these examples? Firstly, we have Ibsen's A Doll House, which questions the subordination of women in marriage, right? Then we have G.B. Shaw's Mrs. Warren's Profession, it examines attitude towards prostitution. And then we have Galsworthy's Justice, which explores the cruelties of solitary confinement and the legal system, right? These are the famous or notable examples of problem plays. Ibsen's A Doll's House, G.B. Shaw's Mrs. Warren's Profession, and Galsworthy's Justice, right? Ibsen, Shaw, and G.B. Shaw and Galsworthy have written such plays to direct public attention to social evils and to direct public attention to wrong attitudes, right? And these problem plays does not only diagnose, but they also act as we can say remedy, act as a therapy, right? Firstly, we will discuss about George Bernard Shaw. George Bernard Shaw was highly indebted to Ibsen without losing his own self, right? Keep in mind that he was indebted to Ibsen, but he has his own way of writing. And it is Ibsen who influenced G.B. Shaw in these two ways. Firstly, it made him determined to use unhesitatingly his dramatic art in the service of his society in particular and mankind in general, right? And secondly, how Ibsen influenced G.B. Shaw. G.B. Shaw learned to question the customary beliefs of society. He tried to analyze concepts such as patriotism, such as post-romance of war and chivalry. Shaw's purpose was to rebuild and create a new climate of ideas on the basis of rationality and unsentimental realism, right? And in his problem plays, his intention seems to be to stand popular beliefs upside down. Truth is generally ugly or inconvenient, and therefore G.B. Shaw's wit have the function of making this ugly or inconvenient thing he makes the audience to feel it accept, or to make it acceptable to the audience, right? This is the things which he has in his writings, right? Now let us talk about some important problem plays by G.B. Shaw. Firstly, we have Mrs. Warren's Profession, which talks about the evil of prostitution, right? And this plays about the economics of prostitution as a profession in a free society. Its other aspects are ironically made subsidiary. And Mrs. Warren, she is far from being a romantic artisan. This problem play was banned by the censor of the plays, and it was denounced by the public. Next, we have the Apple Cart, which defends the institution of monarchy. It is, yet we can say the Apple Cart is another thought-provoking comedy. G.B. Shaw defends the institution of monarchy, but the real villain, we can say the real villain in the play is neither monarchy nor democracy, but the real villain is capitalism, which obstruct all social and economic progress, right? Then we have Arms and the Man, that is a brilliant style on the popular notions about love and war. And in this, the hero is fired not by any notions of chivalry and patriotism, but by a matter of fact, love of money and good living, right? He is not a coward, only a down-to-earth realist whose function in the play is to cure the beautiful Raina of her, we can say, of her romantic ideas and make her see Sergius, right? Her dream soldier, right? Then we have Man and Superman, which is a star on Superman and romantic love. Then we have G.B. Shaw's The Devil's Disciple, which is about puritanical rituals. Then Heartbreak House, about broken families. Androcles and the Lion, about religious persecution. These are the topics, these are the themes of the plays which are discussed, right? Heartbreak House, its theme is about broken families. Then Androcles and the Lions, its theme is about religious persecution. Then in Getting Married, the theme is family problems. Then social inequalities are discussed by G.B. Shaw in Overruled. Then hollowness of hero worship, that is discussed in Man of Destiny, right? And here let me tell that G.B. Shaw's best play, St. John, that is not really a problem play, though it addresses the problem of defining the real character and significance of the maid, right? So this is all about G.B. Shaw. Next we have John Galsworthy. It is said that G.B. Shaw's plays are deficient in emotion, but John Galsworthy's plays are not deficient in emotion. But emotion in his work is hardly different from cheap sentiment, right? His best known problem plays are The Strife, The Skin Game, Justice, and The Silver Box. When we talk about strife, it represents a conflict between striking workers and factory owners, neither of them ready to surrender to one another, right? Then Skin Game, it dramatizes the struggle between old aristocrats and the newly rich industries, right? Then we have Justice and the Silver Box, which represent the evils of law. Next we have Barker, who is the last notable practitioner of the problem play, right? Let me talk about him in brief, that he's a major figure in British theatre in the Edwardian and interwar periods. He was considered as one of the major reformers of the Edwardian stage from 1904 to 1907, right? And he often worked with G.B. Shaw to assist him in stage. He assisted Harley Barker assisted G.B. Shaw to stage his plays and to direct as well. And his career as a director boomed with 3 famous productions of Shakespeare at the Savoy Theatre, right? And which were the plays of Shakespeare, The Winter's Tale, The Twelfth Night, and A Midsummer Night's Dream, right? And as a writer, his plays tackled difficult and controversial subject matter, right? Now, let us talk in brief about his plays, problem plays. His problem plays, these are his problem plays: The Meaning of Annihilate Waste, which was censored. Then we have The Madras House. Then we have Voice Inheritance, which is a play in 5x. It was originally staged at the Royal Court Theatre in 1905, right? And it was his finest achievement and one of the best and richest play of modern times, right? So friends, it is all about the problem play. I have tried all my best to give you all the details about the problem plays. I hope you will like the content, and if you like it, please hit the like button, share and subscribe my channel, and if you are new to my channel, please hit the bell button so that you can get notifications for my upcoming videos. Thanks a lot for watching.